Hi, welcome to the Get Ready with God podcast. My name is Julie Taylor, and I am your host, and I am not God. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I'm not even a scriptorian. I'm literally just a girl sitting in front of a microphone, hoping God is real. The Get Ready with God podcast is the daily devotional podcast to help you see divinity in every day. Okay, today I want to talk about something, and I try to not get very religion specific on this podcast because I like it to be as non-denominational as possible. And I want to really make you feel like you're in a safe space. I want people to feel safe here. But I'm going to use an example from my religion to try to paint a picture here. So I was at a football game last night at my alma mater, and I went to a religious college. And back in my day, when I went to this college, caffeine was not allowed on campus, which might sound crazy to you because it is. There has been this change. I don't even know. Certain people in the religion and the faith thought that caffeine was against the beliefs, and portions of it thought that it was fine because coffee is not allowed. Coffee, alcohol, drugs. And so because coffee's not allowed, some people wouldn't drink caffeine. So it was just like this gray area for a while. And I know that this sounds ridiculous because it is. But back when I went there, caffeine was still not widely accepted. And so I drank caffeine very regularly. And now the state of Utah is overcome by soda shops. So we can see the progression there. Yikes. I don't mean yikes in a bad way. You guys know that I live for Diet Coke, but it is a little insane. Okay. The soda shops on every corner, it's a little out of hand. And I feel like I can say that because I'm calling myself out. And also, while I have you here, I just need to point out that the soda shop will charge you like $5 or $6 for a soda. You can get it at the gas station for $1, $1.25, and the mix is better. Okay. The fountain syrup to carbonation ratio is better. And that is a hill that I will die on. And I would like to be on the record as promoting gas station soda over soda shop soda. And I'm sorry. I love you all. But in Utah, there is a soda shop epidemic. It started in a good place. It started in good fun. And I do fear that we've taken it too far. Okay? I fear we've taken it too far. And that is coming from someone who drinks several Diet Cokes a day. So if I think we've taken it too far, then I'm concerned. Anyways, now it is widely accepted and it is served on campus. And so I went to a football game at the school yesterday, and I bought my Diet Coke, and it just like reminded me of the days when I used to like sneak full caffeinated Diet Coke onto campus, into classes, into football games, because not even the football stadium served caffeine, okay? And now it's just like widely accepted. Anyways, I'm using this example because, and I don't mean to like come for anyone. We all have done this in one way or another, but it's like we even do it with fashion, okay? Maybe I should use fashion as the example, because what I was going to say is that there are people who did not drink caffeine until the church endorsed it in some way. I don't know. I genuinely can't tell you like when that switch happened. I really do think that it was BYU putting it on their campus. Like once BYU allowed caffeine, all the Mormons were just like, oh, okay, I guess we can drink caffeine now. So I know a lot of people personally like did not drink caffeine until that rule was changed, and now they drink caffeine all the time. And we do it with fashion all the time though. Like people won't wear clothes until they're a certain trend, and once they're in style, we'll wear them. Like jorts objectively look ridiculous. I love them, by the way, but they objectively look ridiculous. But because they're in style, everyone's like, oh, okay, this is fine because culture said we could. And so it's not just a religious thing. We do it all the time with like made up rules and requirements. And we'll change our views and our perspectives based on how widely they're accepted. Here's the thing. This is what this episode is about, is that I just want us all to make our own decisions. And here's why I think it's important. Because it makes you take accountability for your own choices so that you're not a victim to a religion. You're not a victim to other people. You're not a victim to your own circumstances. And before you come for me, there's a whole episode on victimhood that you can go back and listen to where I state like sometimes you are a victim. And I am not dismissing people who are actually victims. And there are victims of religion, 1,000%. So I'm not just saying that this is all in your head. But what I've seen in myself is there was a whole period of my life where I blamed a lot of things on my religion when I left religion. And I was like, I only did this because my religion told me to. And while that was a little bit true, and I did not choose to be really raised in the religion I was raised in. And so obviously like that programming wasn't necessarily my choice. So there's truth in all of that. it still allowed me to be a victim of the situation and take no accountability as a grown adult. So I could blame things on a church, I could blame things on a religion, and there was no accountability on my part. And that left me really, really unempowered. I wasn't in charge of myself. I wasn't in charge of my life. And I was just sitting here stuck in a negative loop of victimhood and blaming and zero accountability. And a life with zero accountability is not a free life. You're not free. If you can't take accountability, you are trapped. And I hate feeling trapped. That's my number one least favorite feeling, is feeling trapped in a situation. I could use more examples from my religion, but I'm trying to not get too specific, and I don't want to attack certain groups of people because I really don't. But if you are choosing to engage in faith or a religion, or even just any type of group that has shared values, beliefs, and like rules that they live by, that you adhere to, it's very important that you understand your own free will in the situation. It's very important that you understand and take accountability for your choices, even if, so say you're doing something because you want to follow the rules of a religion, that is still your choice. So sitting in a place where you're saying, my religion makes me do X, Y, or Z, will leave you feeling trapped. And when your beliefs change and your values change, it will lead to so much resentment and victimhood and leave you powerless to take accountability and change your situation. Long story short, it sucks. I've been there. I've walked that path. And so it's important to me now that I always understand that I'm making the choices that I'm making because I am choosing to make them, not because a religion, an institution, or anything else is making me do it. So when I go to work every morning on time, I'm actually doing that because I value my job. I value being a good employee, and I'd like to keep my job. And yes, those are the rules of the job, but the reason that I choose to follow them is because I want to keep my job. When I follow the rules of my religion, which surprisingly I do right now, I do it because I'm choosing to do that. So I don't really view it as when people say like, oh, how do you live with so many restrictions? It's a choice I'm making. I'm choosing to participate in a religion, and these are the rules. And so I'm going to follow the rules. And the ones that I don't see a point in, I'm probably not going to follow. But I also understand that there are consequences for not following the rules of a religion or institution that they have the right to enforce. Does that mean that changes my worth? Does that mean anything about me as a person? No, I don't think so. But if I'm going to play, I'm going to play by the rules, but it's my choice, and I'm choosing to play by those rules. So when we view it as our actual choice rather than blaming it on a religion or an institution, we also have the advantage of really getting to the core and understanding why we're doing something. This is where our personal relationship with God really comes into play, because I can work things out and be at peace with my choices and my relationship with God. And that might be different than how other people feel. This whole topic came up because someone asked me like what to do when you don't fit in the box that your religion asks you to fit in, and how isolating that can be. And yeah, it's painful and it's isolating, and it takes years sometimes to sift through understanding your worth and the divinity within you when you don't fit in the box that you're being told is correct. It hurts. It's hard. It takes work. And one of the ways that I've come to peace with this is that I have a personal relationship with God. I take accountability for my choices. I'm choosing things because I think I should be choosing them. Because even when they're hard or require sacrifice, or even if I don't fully understand it, if I'm choosing it because I'm choosing it, not because someone is telling me or making me. There's going to be constant evolutions and changes. And if you're not thinking for yourself, and if you're not developing that personal relationship with God and making choices based on what you value, what you prioritize, what you think is right, you're going to be constantly like pulled in the wind, and it's going to feel fickle, and it's going to feel confusing, and you're going to constantly feel trapped as a victim of the circumstances and the rules that you're following without any personal choice and personal accountability. And God respects our agency more than he respects anything else, more than anything else. And I think that's why it's so powerful when we use that will to choose God and to choose to do things that bring us closer to God. I think that's why that's so powerful, because it's a choice. Forcing someone to do something is very different than them choosing it. And I think that that's modeled by God. So if we're prioritizing a personal relationship with God and choosing things because we're choosing them, even if that is adherence with religious rules, we're going to be left in a place of empowerment with stability, so it won't be as stressful and concerning if your foundation shakes. Anyways, accountability will free you from resentment and free you from victimhood, and that will always lead to a more joyful, free, willing interaction with the divine. And that's where the magic is. This episode's too long, and I want to put all these caveats in of like, I didn't mean this and I didn't mean this. It's just something I've been thinking about. You should make your own choices. You should make your own choices. You should know why you're making the choices that you're making. And you should take accountability for that. That's a lot of you shoulds. I'm talking to myself. I'm just talking to myself, babe. I'm alone in this room. It's just me. I'm just talking to myself. I'm not telling you what to do. Love you. Bye.